begin with headlines. Nigerian Medical Association, the Ogun State branch, suspended its 25-day strike for 4 weeks to allow for dialogue with government. Plus on the news, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission gives traders and other market stakeholders 1 month to crush the prices of goods. From the international scene, Russia is withdrawing 100 of its paramilitary officers from Burkina Faso to help in the war in Ukraine. Details of those and more coming your way shortly. To stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now, details of the news. The Nigerian Medical Association Ogun State branch on Friday said it has suspended its 25-day strike for 4 weeks to allow for peaceful dialogue and deliberation with government. NMA chairman in Ogun State, Dr. Ogunjimi Lukman, made this known while speaking with newsmen shortly after an emergency general meeting of the association held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Dr. Lukman, who acknowledged the hardship caused to residents due to the government's failure to respond to doctors' demands, urged government yet again to maximize the opportunity for dialogue, thereby doing the right thing at the right time. The NMA chairman also said the issues brought forward are germane and should be treated with utmost seriousness.
After extensive discussion and deliberation, the Congress resolved as follows: that to suspend the ongoing strike action for 4 weeks to allow for peaceful dialogue and deliberation with government and considering the hardship faced by the public. Members are to resume duty 8 a.m. on Monday, 2nd September 2024. The government of Ogun State is urged to meet the association's demand during this 4-week suspension to avert further industrial disharmony.
Nigeria's Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, says the government is doing all it can to rescue Dr. Ganiyat Popola from captivity. The minister made the commitment in Abuja when they commissioned the electronic health records and alternative power supply at the Lawali Jafaru Isa Emergency Complex and the solarization project at the dialysis unit comprising a solar-powered borehole backed by a 10.2 kVA inverter which comes with a lithium battery at Abdulkarim Jika Yusuf COVID-19 Intervention Center. Dr. Lausa stressed that the federal government is working hard in ensuring that Dr. Ganiyat is reunited to her family alive and safe.
I would sympathize with the family of Dr. Ganiyat Popola. She's a colleague. She was working for the country, a patriotic citizen, and this unfortunate incident happened almost 7-8 months ago, December of 2023. But I can assure you, we're working as a government to secure our release.
He appeals to the Nigerian Resident Doctors Association to look into the ongoing nationwide strike, as it is not in the best interest of the nation. Now to other stories, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has given a 1-month moratorium to traders and other market stakeholders involved in exploitative pricing to crush the prices of goods. The newly appointed Executive Vice Chairman of the FCCPC, Tunji Bello, said this at a 1-day stakeholders engagement on exploitative pricing in Abuja. According to Bello, the Commission will begin enforcement after the moratorium. He said that the meeting was to address the growing trend of unreasonable pricing of consumer goods and services and the unwholesome practice of market association. Bello described the Commission's finding that a fruit blender known as Ninja was being sold at a popular supermarket in Texas for $89, which is equivalent to 140,000 naira, but the same product was displayed for 944,999 in a supermarket in Victoria Island, Lagos. Bailey wondered about the basis for the arbitrary hike in the price of the blender compared to the Texas, United States of Americas. He said that unwholesome practices, including price fixing, were threatening the stability of the economy. Now we are joined by Dr. Gbenga Adeoye, FCA economist, who joins us live from Minnesota, USA. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us at this time. Okay, all right, straight to the questions. The one-month deadline given by federal government to producers of goods and services to crush their prices. Do you see this as a first step to tackling the skyrocketing increase of goods and services in Nigeria?
It's like putting the cart before the horse. You know, before you can tell people to do something about pricing, it's important for you to ensure that the enabling environment is okay. Price control, as good as it may sound, also has its own implication. Number one, price control is not a general policy. You do price control on certain goods, what we call essential goods. You can do price control on bread. You can do price control on things like kerosene, PMS, energy. Now, if you talk about price control, you can have what we call the floor pricing and the ceiling pricing, done all over the world. But then what government does is to make certain inputs available to manufacturers and distributors of products, such that they are unable to take the price beyond certain point, so that these prices can be affordable to the people. The new boss of price control agency talks about blender at Victoria Island. He has forgotten that energy cost has to be put in place. Security of the place has to be put in place. And so when you also look at cost of importation, even an economic ticket, everybody knows what it is. So you don't just come and make pronouncement without doing the needful first. So to me, it's like putting the cart before the horse. I agree that there is good intention behind price control, but price control itself must be preceded by certain actions of the government. So, for example, if we feel that prices of bread is too high and people are unable to purchase this for consumption, you can then go into what can we do about wheat importation. You can say every wheat that comes into the country, we're going to reduce the duty, or we're going to zero the duty. If you look at various sectors, you look at what impacts more on the people. And so what you do is a kind of subsidy indirectly, or you do certain waivers, so that when this cost is taken care of by government policy, people are able to then sell at a standardized price that government is trying to set. But usually you have a floor price and you have a ceiling price, such that all sellers can now stay within that threshold. But for you to make an announcement and say crash price within 1 month, it sounds to me like putting the cart before the horse. What government ought to do is to sit down with stakeholders. Let's do a list of maybe 10 items: bag of rice, bread, loaf of bread, look at various things and say, what are the cost component of these items? And then we look at it. Which of the components can government control? And when you put that control in place, by way of eliminating those costs, then you tell the people, if you were selling before for 1,000 naira, now that the federal government is taking off a particular cost that is about 200 away from you, we are saying the maximum price you can sell is 800. And then you have a baseline, which is what we call the floor pricing. And then the ceiling, which is 800. So because of competition, some people will then drop their prices below the 800. So that's how it is done all over the world. So it's not just about making an announcement and saying crash the price. No, you don't just say crash the price. You come up with policies, you dialogue with the people, and then they're able to tell you. I'll give you an example. Petroleum product, PMS, that you see, I understand in Nigeria now, prices in some places 850, 900, some far away in the north or so, maybe like 1,000, 1,200. Now, if you talk to the people that are selling product, they tell you, this is the amount we are getting from the tank farm. There's no way we can sell below our cost price. Transportation is there, security on the road is there, energy cost in their various business places. So government should think about some form of adjustment on energy, all this band A, band B, band C. We need to get, away with that. And so when these factors of production are clearly addressed, then you can then look at it and say, hey, guys, come here. The government is absorbing certain element of your cost component. And for this reason, there should be a drop of X amount in your pricing. And so you allow competition, some will drop below that. So I think that's what to do. The danger of what the government
so
has
since
said
this is
now
not the first time that government is making policies or making announcements without what some experts in the industry would call proper consultation, like we saw with the removal of fuel subsidy. So now that this announcement has been made, do you see this deadline working, like you said, with the daily struggle to buy petrol products at varying and very high cost?
It's not going to work, I mean, it's dead on arrival, actually. I mean, even a blind man, a deaf man, understand that this cannot work. Don't forget that the people that are making the announcement, they have their family members in the market, and they are going to tell them, hey, uncle, you must be joking with that announcement. Do you know how much we got this in the market? So you expect me to sell at what price? So, you see, what will happen to the country within that 1 month, if they actually make any attempt to implement, is that you're going to have inferior products in the market, because some people say, okay, government says we should crash and sell at what price? Then they will supply things that are not good. You are aware of various people having kidney problem in Lagos and in the East as a result of inferior drinks. That will increase if you try to force that. The second thing that will happen is what we call hoarding, because people feel like, look, they want to destroy my capital by asking me to sell at a price that is not good for me. So if I have 10 products, I pretend to have 2. So when you make demand, I say, sorry, it's not available. So you then come back and say, look, I'm ready to get it at any price. And then you try and cross-check. Maybe this is a government agent or not. So hoarding is an issue. And what we call rationing. Rationing do happen during fuel scarcity. So you come in, you need 180 liters of fuel for your vehicle to move from here maybe to Benue in Boko. And then somebody say, oh, sorry, we can only sell 20 liters to you because they don't want to get rid of all their products. So I don't see this announcement as anything to worry about. The government probably send that signal maybe to those people that are doing artificial increase. But I tell you, everybody knows things are hard. You know it. You know that there are other factors. surrounding pricing. It's not about the product itself. The example that the boss, apology to my brother Tunji Bello, who is my brother, from Ogun State. I think it is wrong for you to compare the blender price in the US with the Naira value or price in Nigeria just like that, without bringing other factors. How much was this item shipped into the country? What was the flight cost if you air cargo these items? Now, when you are clearing them, what are the issues that you face? Now, where you are storing this item, what is your rent there? What are the other costs? Security of the place. How many OPC people are guarding that warehouse? And so you put all these costs together to determine your price. And then don't forget, you have to make profit. A country where you are lending people at 35% interest, and you think prices will go down. It cannot happen. It's just a mere dream.
All right, we thank you so much for sharing with us from the wealth of your experiences. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right, and that was Dr. Gbenga Adeoye, FCA economist, who joined us live from Minnesota, USA. You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. A group of kidnappers has abducted 4 family members in the Federal Capital Territory. The incident, which occurred at the Tudun Fulani extension area of the Buari Area Council, happened around 1:30 a.m. on Friday. A resident of the area who spoke on condition of anonymity stated that the kidnappers forced their way into the family's home to abduct the victims. The resident also said one of the person who escaped being abducted was shot by the kidnappers. When contacted, the FCT Command Police spokesperson Josephine Ade said the police were on top of the matter. And still on security-related matters, no fewer than 3 students of Faduya School in Gaidam local government area of Yobe State have been confirmed dead after an attack by gunmen at the school early Friday. The school is reported to belong to the Islamic movement in Nigeria, a Shia sect. The gunmen, who haven't been ascertained whether they are members of the dreaded Boko Haram insurgency group or bandits, rode into the school premises on motorbikes wielding AK-47 rifles. The State Command's Public Relations Officer, Dungus Abdul Karim, said that the police received a distress call that some hoodlums came on motorbikes with AK-47 rifles and then entered into the school and shot dead 3, adding that one of the students who got injured had been taken to an undisclosed hospital where he is receiving treatment. The state PPRO noted that a teacher who was in the school managed to escape and told police that there was no sort of confrontation with any members of any armed groups. Abdul Karim added that an investigation has commenced as the police are working to unravel who is behind it, the purpose and credible witness who might have seen the incident. Now to education. The Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Yahya has pleaded with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Gombe State University branch, to shelve plans to proceed on strike. Yahya, who was represented by the Secretary to Government of the state, Professor Ibrahim Njode, made this plea when a delegation of the ASU National Executive Council Visitation Panel to GSU visited Gombe State Government House. It was reported that the government promised to meet end academic allowance demands and others with 947,669,909 naira and 13 kobo by Monday. According to the governor, once the council meets by Monday, the issue of strike will be part of the issues to be tackled and given expedited action, adding that after the specified time, if nothing happens, the union could proceed with its plans. Speaking earlier, Professor Daniel Gungula, who led the NEC visitation, lauded the governor for prioritizing education while harping on the timeline of government promises. He noted that other states are proceeded with implementation of minimum wage without recourse to the national minimum wage table, adding that lecturers, including other workers, use the same market. Now, we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to Foreign News. Russia is withdrawing 100 of its paramilitary officers from Burkina Faso to help in the war in Ukraine. They are part of about 300 soldiers from the Bear Brigade, a Russian private military company who arrived in a West African nation in May to support the country's military junta. On its Telegram channel, the group said its forces would return home to support Russia's defense against Ukraine's recent offensive in the Kursk region. Their fears the pullout could embolden Islamist insurgents in Burkina Faso, who recently killed up to 300 people in one of the biggest attacks in years. The interim president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who came to power in a coup in September 2022, promised to end the attacks but has struggled even after seeking new security partnerships with Russia. With nearly half the country outside government control, jihadist groups are increasingly targeting civilians and military units. Survivors say up to 300 people were killed on Saturday in the northern town of Basalogo in an attack which was claimed by an Al-Qaeda-linked armed group, Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslim. There were reportedly civilians helping to dig trenches to help protect the town against jihadist attacks. The authorities have not said how many people were killed, but Communication Minister Rimtalba Jean Emmanuel called the attack barbaric.
And that's it for now, but do join us at 9 p.m. for our prime time news. My name is Eribami Salako. See you then.